Hello everybody and welcome to the next installment of our Q&A with our life students for Twin Flame Ascension School. Thank you for coming on and stay tuned if you want to learn about how cultural oppression may have something to do with your union and getting into your harmonious union. So thank you for coming, and today we're going to be interviewing Angie Moggy from Twin Flame Ascension School. Feel free to like and to give me some love, say hello so I know who's here. And let me just invite, hi Deanna, hi. Let me just invite Angie. I love doing these because it's so much fun to kind of have that connection with people and to learn more about the students and their journeys because everyone is so unique. Hey Angie, she's here. How are you?
Hey everybody.
How are you feeling?
Good, good.
Good.
Yourself?
Living the dream, as Jeff always says. I'm doing really good. I'm feeling like I'm feeling really, really good these days because I'm aligning more with my life purpose. I realize that a desire of mine is to share love and to, I love connecting with people. I love speaking. So it feels really good to be honest with myself that that's, my desire, one of my desires. And then doing things like this where I get to love myself, but also love you and love everyone else and share to share that these amazing gifts and stories at the same time. So yes, purpose. I love living a life of purpose. So let's get started, shall we? Let's just jump right in. All right, thank you everybody for being here, and I'm gonna have the comments up, and so continue to give me a thumbs up or a heart whenever you hear something that you resonate with, because we always like to know if what we're saying is speaking to you, not just here, but here. All right, so welcome, Angie. Thank you for joining me today. My name, everybody, for all of those who don't know me, my name is Stephanie Cole. I am a TFAS student, Twin Flame Ascension School, live classes on the Wednesday at 7 p.m. class. But I did start on Sunday, the Sunday at 7 p.m. class, and actually that's where I originally met Angie when she first started. She's a student as well with me and has been here for about a year and a half. We started around the same time. And yeah, so if you'd like to see her story and if you resonate with anything here, subscribe. Subscribe and get to know her. She has a very interesting and unique perspective on the twin flame journey because her union is healing something in consciousness, very specific, and perhaps you are too. And so if you resonate with this, join us in Wednesday at 7 p.m. classes so that you can heal alongside Angie. All right, so Angie, I wanted to start off and say hello and ask you kind of with the spiritual work that you've been doing in class um, to get into your union, to get into really to align to your union and union with God.
Mhm.
What were some of your biggest core blocks, like the themes kind of that you needed to heal through and bring peace and love to and alignment in order to come into your union, get closer to your union?
Okay. Okay. Well, pretty early on, very early on, um, within Twin Flame Ascension School, it was revealed to me that my biggest core block was that I wasn't claiming my feminine energy. I was actually like rejecting it and taking on masculine energy that wasn't mine. That was, it was my twin. My twin is the divine masculine. I'm the divine feminine. But I was carrying that energy and rejecting myself. And it was actually, and if people have watched the live, or not the live, the free classes on YouTube, there's the one where everybody says their twin's name and what their block to their union is. Well, mine was, Jeff had revealed to me, was that I have to allow Ren to be, that's my twin flame, allow him to be the masculine. And so, of course, I had no idea what this even meant
Yeah.
and how I didn't have the first clue of, how am I going to like heal this? You know, this is what's keeping me out of my union. And it had been showing itself in different ways ever since like I met my twin flame. I was rejecting my feminine energy so much that I actually manifested ovarian and uterine cancer.
Wow.
And it was being mirrored to me by my twin flame who almost transitioned to becoming a woman. You know,
Wow.
so it was extreme. You know, it wasn't, you know, just it was really showing itself. And so, you know, I started like really trying to learn what it meant. And, you know, and Shalia gave me like some really great advice to look at, you know, feminine role models and, you know, what were they showing me? Like, what could I learn from them? And that was a wonderful thing to do, the wonderful exercise. But at the end of it all, like, I mean, what I really needed to do was I really needed to learn how to be my authentic self.
Amen.
And, and it's still something that, you know, I'm always coming deeper into, especially when I'm learning more about, you know, my life purpose and, you know, about everything about being authentic and not, you know, trying to control or to be something that I'm not, or trying to force something just to be. One of the things that really came up into my consciousness as I was discovering this was, you know, that I'm a Native American and my twin flame is also Native American. And I thought, you know, I never really thought about it like before, but I thought, you know, this definitely has to mean something. This
Yeah.
definitely has, you know, and the more I went into it, the more like, you know, things came into my awareness. Um, where, where am I needed in this? You know, um, what can I do because, um, you know, we're both, my twin flame and I are very passionate, you know, about, you know, what it is to be Native American, you know, with our language,
Yeah.
you know. So bottom line, you know, there has been a lot of trauma in the bloodlines with Native Americans, with genocide, with colonization, with residential school trauma, with child abductions, you know, that were done, you know, by the government. And all of this stuff is needed for healing. You know, ego always strikes you in the place that you're most vulnerable. And Native American people have always been very spiritual people, you know, and you know, they were manipulated into believing that these things were done to them in the name of God.
Mm.
So it yeah, so
Which is not the
you
truth,
know,
obviously.
which is no, absolutely not. And but it was, you know, I have like a lot of I have a lot of like older relatives, you know, they're very superstitious and stuff like that. So you know, there's in their consciousness they feel like God punished them. God, like, you
Yeah.
know, and this is what we need to heal. God never punished them. They never lost anything. The Native American people never lost who they were. You know, they never lost any of their power. You know, it's still there. It never left. You know, they've just forgotten who they were,
Yeah.
but they never lost who they were.
Yeah. That's the illusion right there that we're healing, the illusion of separation,
Yeah.
right? And that's the basis
Mhm.
of Twin Flame Ascension School, is learning to how to do that on all these, not just in your union, but in your entire life. Because union with God is the alignment with your divine self, authenticity, exactly what Angie's saying. And I love that that this is coming up right now, and that God is speaking so clearly through you. And you know, we say God, but a creator, spirit, universe, source, however you refer to God.
Mhm.
Um, so many people are healing this within them, same energy of oppression, right? But it may look different. Slavery, um, feminism, right? Through the feminine oppression, um, colonization around the world and oppression, right? So if any of that, like even Holocaust, I know quite a few people have been healing a lot of Holocaust
Mhm.
through their bloodline, their ancestry, their tribal
Mhm.
ties, essentially. And so some people don't understand what that looks like in conjunction with this journey and don't know how to do that. So if that's you and you're watching, and I definitely suggest that you follow Angie on her journey, and you touch base with her, you connect with her, you suggest her for a coach because she understands what it's like to transcend these patterns and what it feels like, and this is part of her life purpose as well. So
Well,
yes.
oh, I just wanted to say that also, when you're, healing this, um, like time is an illusion. You're healing it for the entire, like for the bloodline, for that trauma. Yeah.
Which is the most powerful, beautiful gift you can give anyone. Um, it really is about like doing this work and healing yourself is the best gift that you can give anyone. I think a lot of empaths or healers, they want to heal other people on the outside, but so they neglect themselves. And actually, what your heart is really desiring, everybody, is to heal yourself first. How, like as a healer, you cannot fill someone else's
Mhm.
cup if your cup is empty. Fill your cup, heal it within you, and then you're able to extend that healing and love out to everyone in a multitude of ways, and that's more powerful. We're learning now with this ascension, with Twin Flame Ascension School, with Twin Flames as a tool towards your ascension, that um, we're healing smarter, not harder. You don't have to waste your energy or your life force to heal and to feel good, right? And that's what this school is for. It's just so much more than something so small as what most people see it as, and that's really what I think Angie's done a really good job at explaining in part of her journey here.
Mhm.
And so I want to go a little bit deeper with the authenticity, and you said you were working through some masculine feminine blocks, and which was just like mind blowing, and is very unique to you. I think there are people who are, divine feminines in a masculine body, and divine feminines or divine masculines in a feminine body, vice versa, same sex unions. So this is not a new topic. But there has been some confusion because not all have been represented. Anna and Katrina are a same-sex woman union, and so we have really great role models there about what that looks like. But Angie's been healing through kind of another side. Would you say? How does that?
Okay.
How would you explain that kind of?
Okay. Yeah, like it's all about, claiming your authentic self. We know a lot of people, you know, uh, they're actually their twin flame, like, they thought they were heterosexual, and they, desired, a woman desiring a man, well, of course, we're all divine masculine, divine feminine, but, as far as like, the same sex couple, this
Yeah,
is coming up for healing. A lot of people are healing that.
yeah.
I'm actually on the other side. I'm actually on the other side of that. My twin flame is married to a man and believes that he is gay, so that is something that I'm currently healing right now, is authentic sexuality. And my
And
twin
before you
flame is
realized,
actually desires a
yeah.
woman, a feminine woman.
Absolutely. And before you,
Mhm.
so what was your side of that mirror? Before you started this journey, and you met him, like, what did you kind of label your sexuality as?
Well, I actually thought I was gay too. Like, but mine had, I've worked through this, and I had a lot of trauma, relationship trauma, a lot of blocks with men, and I, you know, I thought, I could just, how, I'm just going to become gay. Like, I don't know, like I actually tried to do that, like, because I was so,
Yeah,
I thought I felt safer with women. That's the word I'm looking for. Is I
absolutely.
felt safer with women, even though I wasn't really authentically attracted to them.
Absolutely. And
And I
on my
just
side of
felt,
that,
yeah.
absolutely.
Pardon me?
Sorry, a
Oh.
little bit of a lag here.
Oh.
But my side of that too, for viewers watching, seeing how this journey isn't just one template. Like it's just not, there's a template of harmonious union, the energy of it, but the way it manifests looks so different, which is why we're sharing this. For me, same. I was working through so many so much wounding there as well. And so what felt safer to me is to become celibate. And so
Hmm.
that's how it kind of manifested in my reality. I just turned off. So the truth was not that I'm asexual. The truth was that the blocks were defining an illusion to me. And my job was to get clear with my true desire in my heart so that I could see past the illusion and align with my authentic divine self. So Angie's that this is the epitome of her journey, and you watch her walk through each level and layer of it through her entire experience, like life experience, and existence really as a soul, that she's been working through, and she's been doing amazing work. um,
Thank
Great.
you.
So you want to do you want to
I
add
wanted
anything
to
else
add,
before we move forward? Yeah.
yeah, actually, I wanted to add that when I was going through that period where, I was, thought I was attracted to women, um, or, um, I was, this actually revealed the divine masculine, divine feminine block I had, because I was only attracted to very feminine women,
Mm,
you know. And so, and I realized, I wasn't attracted to, the individual. I was attracted to that energy because that was
mm.
my authentic energy.
Aha.
And yeah, like
That's
when
deep.
I first met my twin flame and he was transitioning, he was very, very feminine. And I found that very attractive and very, drew, now, I mean, he's in his masculine and it's authentic attraction. It wasn't, what, but anyways, that was an interesting thing that I discovered during my
Yeah.
healing.
Oh, I think
Yeah.
that's wonderful to speak about, because I think I've seen actually a few posts on the forum where people were kind of talking about this, maybe a couple months back. I tried to explain a little bit what authentic, your authentic sexual expression is, your identity, right? Which we need to learn how to detach from a sexual
Hmm.
identity, like you know, instead, um, because people like to attach to that because it comes with a community, or detaches from a different community, and that's unnecessary, because the only community we really need to connect with is God and our divine self. And um, I think it's really nice that you went into such detail here, that God came through you to say that, because I think a lot of people are needing to hear that right now with a lot of the kind of things that are happening in social media and in, I know, just in the news right now. And yeah, so that brings a lot of comfort. So thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Oh, I just also wanted to add though, and I think a lot of people will, you don't have both. I mean, you are not both. You're either a divine masculine or you're a divine feminine. Yeah, I'm a divine feminine, 100%. The only divine masculine I have in me is that of my twin flame. That's been brought up on the boards a lot. So just throwing that out there.
Uh, Wonderful. Thank you so much. Um,
Yeah.
and that's something I noticed too, is as I healed, and this is something Angie and I have in common, as I healed my wounds and blocks there too, I started to manifest my authentic self more, my authentic expression more. And so, although I felt very masculine before I started this work, and I even looked a lot more androgynous,
Mhm.
as I healed my reality, and for me in my journey, my body followed the healing and expressed the healing
Mhm.
that happened. This
Amen.
work is bomb. Like, that's the only word I can say. This work, and Jeff and Shalia and what they've brought to us, um, changes your life, and not just the feeling, the inside feeling, but it really helps you to create your perfect heaven on earth. And like, that's why we're going to school, because I don't know how to do that. I wasn't born to knowing how to do that. That's why I'm a student. Just like I wasn't born to know how to be a doctor, I got to go to school for that too.
No, yeah.
Same thing. Right.
Mhm.
Very good.
Gotta have patience
Um,
with yourself. Yeah, and compassion.
yeah.
Yeah,
Speaking
as you're
of,
learning. Yeah.
great tips, Angie, because the next question I was going to ask you is, what are some of your tips and tricks to people as they're on this journey? What are some of the aha moments, or kind of the things that really helped you, and like maybe advice for those on this journey, or especially beginning this journey?
Um, tips and tricks is um, listen to your heart. What is your heart calling you to do? You know, um, and do your inner work. Do never,
Amen.
yeah. I have, I'm going to be honest. There has been times I have, sat in an upset so long, and you get stuck in that loop, and you replay and replay, and this is a pattern, like it's avoidance, really, what it is. And this is something that I'm continuously healing, is feel your feelings, like always feel your feelings.
Deep.
Yeah. And
And that's,
don't be scared of your spiritual work.
yeah, right. That's so silly.
So
Don't be
or
scared of love.
what comes up, it's always done the most compassionate way for you. And yeah, but
Yeah.
ego, yeah, ego doesn't exist. Illusions are illusions. Only love is real, and love never fails.
Right. And I remember when I first heard that, I was like, that's pretty. And I didn't really like get it, you know? Um, I get it now because I finally really saw my resistance to love. And I really that started with we had to learn that love is real. And that's what quite a bit of this TFAS is learning what's possible, right? How can I
Mm-hmm.
make a new core choice about what I wish to experience in my reality if I actually don't know truly what is possible and what those core choices look like. And Jeff and Shaleia walk us through perfectly with that. Like they through other people's
Mm-hmm.
stories, through the commentary, the teaching, the love, the discipline, through everything.
Mm-hmm.
Every single thing has a purpose and teaching us like where we need to make a new core choice to claim our power back, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
very good. I love how these always organically transform into such a beautiful commentary, like message, uh, because
Mm-hmm.
we weren't actually everyone watching. We weren't actually expecting to share most of what we have already shared, and it just came out so
Mm-hmm.
naturally. And this is God. That's how God works. That's how
Yes,
love
God
works
guiding. Yeah.
through it
Yeah.
all.
And this is another thing, is like, yeah, God's guiding you always. So the other tips, and the biggest tip and trick, is definitely just surrender to your divine guidance. God will. Uh, Shalia has a beautiful quote that she has said different times, is God would not lead you to the river without a. Okay, I'm probably slaughtering it. Would not lead you to the river without a pitcher. Um, yeah,
Oh yeah. Right.
yeah.
If you're thirsty, God will never lead you to the river without a pitcher. It's not just like a one-time drink and I think that's one of the fears that people have with the school. And not just TFAS, but like college and things like that. They say, I have enough for the first semester, but I don't know how I'm going to be able to stay in it. Well, if God really, like, God would never lead you to your good without a safety net, without a way to maintain that. And if you aren't seeing the safety net and you don't have a way to maintain that, that means that there's an illusion in the way, and you need to heal that block. Literally, I cannot stress this enough. You can manifest anything that you desire, and if you
Mhm.
don't have it, there's a block. You use the mirror exercise to heal that. And that's one of the absolute greatest gifts that Jeff and Shaleia have given me and taught me personally in my journey is reconnecting me to understanding and claiming my personal power, and that nothing on the outside can stop me from getting my what I want and my desires, right? Not just kind of like what I want, but like what I desire. Powerful,
Mhm.
beautiful. Um, so next is, and I'm asking everybody this, all the live students, because this is something that we all kind of had to master our methodology of how we prefer to use and how we kind of streamline our own personal process of using the mirror exercise, because it's been thrown around, like everybody in this group at this point I'd probably say 99.9% have heard about the term mirror exercise or have used it, right, in some way, have come across it. Some people learned it and they don't know, they have the tool and they don't know how to apply the tool, right? They're like, this is a cool tool. What does it do? and they don't really know, they know kind of like what it does, but not how to do it within them. So that's something that all of the live students, for you, those of you watching, have their own special twist and spice and flavor on how they incorporate it into their lifestyle, what feels the best for them. And that's why we're sharing this too, is so everybody can see how the work is extended in like a grounded way, in life, and share that with you. Share their mastery. So Angie, can you share your mastery? What's your kind of methodology and process, kind of in a short, condensed way, if you could share that with us?
Okay. Um, well, I mean, upsets happen anywhere, like, and, if you're, out in public, whatever. Um, I don't, I find myself a space, where I can work through that, but my most preferred is at home, like, where I can really love and nurture myself through my upset. I lay down. I like to lay down. I like to curl up. I like to get really comfy and really work through that. Um, and just, it's really about like really nurturing myself through my upset, and having
Yeah,
compassion and love for myself there.
absolutely.
And ideally, I like to do like my really deep inner work at bedtime, where I have like nothing to distract me. I'm in my most comfortable place, my place that I feel safest, you know. And then I just, I'm God's right there with me. God's loving me through this, and whatever comes up, I used to be a journaler, but now I just, if something comes up, I'll write it down, so that I can, because the awareness has come up there
Yeah,
and my guidance has come there, or I'll be given a dream, and I will wake up and I will write it down because um, this is my awareness. This is my next steps. Something's been brought up there. Yeah,
absolutely.
but it's
Very good.
really it's an intimate time. Like really, you're mere exercising.
Yeah. And I think that's actually what quite a few people struggle with, is they want to do the exercise and they're so in this go, go, go state, which we know, kind of physiologically is, fight or flight response, stress response. They just live in this
Mm.
stress response space. Um, but here's a little tip, is you can't feel your feelings when you're in stress response. You're cut off from your feeling space. So you have to be able to relax. And if you can't, so I suggest starting meditation. That's basically what, Angie's kind of, um, going
Mhm.
towards here and saying, is she gets into this comfortable space where she feels physically and mentally safe. So she brings comfort to herself, so that she can fully access her feeling space. So what's your next tip and trick?
Um,
Sorry, we
okay.
already moved on to new exercise, but I remember you saying before that one of the best things, the tips and tricks for you, is about your feelings. And so I guess I see an opening for that right here.
Okay, I think, yeah, yeah. As compared to when I started doing the mirror exercise.
Hmm.
Yeah. When I first started doing the mirror exercise, I wasn't I wasn't going deep enough. I was just scratching the surface. I was acknowledging the upset and I was like, okay, yeah, cool. And then, you know, making a choice. I wasn't loving myself all the way through and really getting into that place. And that's really like the most important step is step number 4, which is loving yourself.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like I was doing like the express drive-through version, and and continuing to, relive the same upset. But I can't, and this has happened to me, like, with my avoidance buff and everything, is like really, really getting deep. And I realized that the upset altogether was that I had a block to intimacy
Hmm.
and being intimate with God.
Hmm.
That was why I wasn't able to, like, yeah, because it's extremely intimate, you know.
Right. Feeling your feelings
And
is,
so,
is being intimate with
yeah.
yourself, absolutely. And then sharing
Hmm.
them, like with God, and acknowledging them, huge.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I mean, it sounds silly and everything like that because we all desire, like, harmonious union with God. But this was holding me from really going deep was fear of intimacy. And there's
Amen.
nothing to fear. Actually, what I desire most of all.
Amen.
So, yeah, feel your feelings until you actually reach that beautiful place of peace.
Mm, very good. Um, yeah, and something Angie talked upon there is when she first started the mirror exercise and she was learning her mastery of the spiritual work and of this journey, right? It took her, she said she was kind of scratching the surface, doing the work, but kind of getting stuck in the circle. And that may be where some of you are. Um, Now, if that's
Mhm.
you, claim your support, move forward,
Mhm.
get a coach. If you're not already subscribed, subscribe. And if you want to subscribe and get like paired with a coach, uh, do a free consultation. Reach out to one of us here as well. There should be no reason why you are stuck in that same loop Angie was talking about. She got out of it, and it
Mhm.
had to do with understanding how to connect to herself on an intimate level. If you don't know how to do that, ask for help. Reach out. Like that's what we're all here for. There's a reason why um, there's a reason why we're in the live classes is because we're meant to master the work and then help bring it to you, right? To all of you watching.
Mm.
Yeah. And it
Actually,
doesn't have
this
to be
is I was just going to say that that is actually one of the things that when I really started to learn, go deeper into my mastery of the mirror exercise was I did call in help. Like this was it was around because I was going into a loop. I was still having the same upsets coming up with my twin flame and whatnot. And I think it's like a year ago, he had written me an email that really revealed exactly where I was. And I was not focused at all on myself. And I was doing my spiritual work and my mirror exercise to get a result. I was not healing myself. And this communication I had with my twin flame really revealed that to me. And so okay, it's time that I start focusing on myself and really getting real. And around that time, everybody was really starting to claim their life purpose and starting to offer services. And I took advantage, you know, and of anything anybody was offering, like I was, anybody was coaching and, and it was really great. So and because at the time, I was struggling with my life purpose as well. And I was just starting to come into it. So yeah, so take advantage of like the things that people are offering, call in your support and your resources. God will guide you to the right people. And it was actually it was beautiful for me because I developed wonderful friendships from those connections and people who have been so supportive you know in in the school. Um and it really helped me, like, because I realized, okay, this I started really noticing my patterns. And I was still, if my focus was going, because I was very, very codependent, you know and this helped me to realize, am I still being codependent with my spiritual work? you know
Mm,
and in some places I actually was. And so it just helped me to, like, really, fine tune my and move forward because I had like the support system. Yeah.
absolutely. Amen. And like and something you touched upon too is that codependency. And I just want to add for everybody that codependency is the opposite of empowerment. If you want to
Mhm.
become empowered and to heal, you need to release your codependencies. And the thing is with illusions and ego is you may be blind to where those are. That's why we have this community. That's why we have the classes, the school. That's why we have support, is so that you're able to find where all your illusions are, um, and get clear on what your desire is, so you can heal and really align with your union, with union with God, with your harmonious union with your twin flame. Um, Partnering is really huge. You don't have to do this alone. Stop trying to do it alone. It may be exhausting and really hard. I can't even imagine. I was one of those people too that started off like, nah, and then I was just finally caved and joined Ascension School, and it was literally the best choice I've ever made. I've always had to do everything myself. I've always had to like lead everything my whole life. and everything. And this is the first time I like finally surrendered and let someone lead me. And it's literally the best decision I ever made because I'm a completely different person now. Um, Not on the
Mm-hmm.
inside, because I'm just clearing the way to expressing my higher self, right? Expressing my true divine self. But on how I react, like I have so much personal freedom of how I react and how I experience life. And I think it's really nice that that I'm able to kind of express that right now. And so thank you, Angie, for leading me there because it's helping me process my own spiritual work. So I appreciate that. Look at this. This is healing us and it's healing everyone in the process and used as an information
Yeah.
tool. Hashtag God.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last thing I wanted to go with before we leave the call, because it's been so juicy, but I kind of want to ask you, Angie, kind of what was, if you could give us a short and sweet, power-packed answer here, what was it that led you to Jeff and Shalia's work? If you could just give us a little bit of a lowdown.
Okay. Well, I'd known of Jeff and Shalia, but it was really, really early on when I was like literally just learned what twin flames were and or all about twin flames. Um, and I was like on YouTube. Um, and but I was really searching for truth, really. Like I mean, and um it's ironic actually that it was like Jeff and Shalia were one of the first people that I, came across. But, it's I still kept, like the contrast. I guess I needed to have that confirmed for me because after that uh, I saw what else was out there. And then, less than a year later, I think I was back on, Jeff and Shalia's YouTube channel and watching them. And that's where I really started um, feeling connected to them. And, and I was going through a thing, with my twin flame. Again, another cycle. I started to realize that we were always going in cycles, no matter how close it seemed. It always revealed itself. And I had enough. I'm not going to keep doing this. I've been doing this for 2 years. I'm not going to do this anymore. And so um, I bought the book, learned a mirror exercise, and I started doing the mirror exercise. And um, and I kept watching the videos, and and I felt like um, I I really wanted a relationship with them. I really felt connected to them. Like I felt extremely drawn to them.
They're amazing.
And there's just no way to really explain it, just the feeling that I felt. So I had friended um, Shalia because I was just communicating like through their YouTube channel, like, making comments on their videos and whatnot. But I desired more. And so I friended Shalia on Facebook. And then, a couple of days later, I friended Jeff. And then I was trying to decide if I wanted to do the course, if I wanted to go to school, I kind of, but I wanted to go to the school. That was where my heart was. That was the core choice that I had made. But of course, I had financial blocks. At the time I wasn't working. My medical leave was about to run out. I had no idea, but all I knew is that desire was strong.
Mm.
And although I didn't have like a very close relationship with God then, I still prayed. I still, gave it to him and asked him to show me a way to go to Twin Flame Ascension School. And the very next day, they posted a video on YouTube talking about the school and inviting people to join. And I said, okay, well, this is definitely a sign that I meant to be there. So I didn't care about the money. I didn't care about anything. Like less than, like maybe a little over a week later, I was in my very first class.
Yeah. That's when I met
Yeah.
you. I think I joined around the same
Yeah.
time, actually. So it's kind of perfect. Um, Very good. Yeah. It's nice to hear your story and kind of get clear on that because I think so many people had a very similar experience or maybe are experiencing the first part of what your story is. And so what I heard
Mhm.
is you had a desire. You
Mhm.
got clear on the desire. You were discerning about it, right? You got really clear about it. That's why you were kind of watching all these. Your spirit was always trying to go deeper within that desire and really understand it so that I could claim it. And so you started watching all those other things and you said, you know what, there's something here for me, twin flames, but it's not it. It's not 100%. There's something off. And so you were like, so not this. And then you went to the next thing and not this, not, and then you found TFAS and you're like, oh, this is the one. Like this is it. And maybe it was this like really silent kind of like not silent but whisper, sweet, gentle whisper for once instead of like a screaming. It was like this such a peaceful like this is it. This is for you. And then you were able to say, you know what, desire? Yes, I got clear on my desire and now I'm going to claim it because I know and I trust that every desire that I have, desire of the Father, is inherently already created within me from my creator and that it's already mine and I can have it. So I was just getting clear on that. Same thing that we do in our love life, right? Some people have quite a few false twins or soulmates or karmics. That's essentially what that is getting clear on the desire. But the mistake that some people make is attaching to that part of the journey and staying there. Do what Angie did. Don't waste your time anymore. Stop wasting your time. Move forward. You already know what you desire. Go get the 100%. That feels 100% what I want. Don't stop settling for something that feels like 50, you know? That's the difference between a soulmate and a twin flame. 50%, 100. Go all in. You can have it. It's for you.
Well, that's like just like literally like what happened was like I think Jeff and Shalia were like the second people I ran into on YouTube. And I mean, but I had to like all I did was just extend the time, you know what I mean, instead of by I ended up back there anyways, like, you know, so yeah, you're gonna end up like just, you know, you're gonna realize like there's yeah, this is it.
Yeah. I don't need to waste my time anymore. I know what I want. And that's the reason. And so I love this and I wanted to share Angie with you all and a little bit of my journey. And I wanted to share other life students with you all because we already went through these lessons. You don't have to, right? You can just learn from our experiences, kind of like a big brother or big sister. As a younger sister, I can watch my older sister kind of screw up a little bit and learn from her mistakes so that I don't have to make those same mistakes. We're your big sisters and your big brothers and TFAS. Learn from us. That's why we're here, right? We're the TAs, essentially. That's why we're here. Why would you try to reinvent the wheel when you can cut down your 20-year journey to union to 1 year, maybe less? There's quite a few people already in the community who have been in there, are now in union. Like,
Oh yeah.
a lot, actually. And it's amazing. And these are subscribers, you know, like, why wouldn't you claim your support there? I feel like, and Jeff's talked about this before, we kind of feel like these people with this amazing, you know, like the door to heaven, and we're all like neon signs, like it's right here, just come right here, and all of like zombies walking around, just like life is sucks, and we're just like no, just come here, and everyone's like, nah, I want something better, but I don't trust you. Nah, it's like, are you kidding? Just come right here. Just feel like we have this beautiful gift. Take it. What are you waiting for? Stop settling. Claim your power, right? Stop being codependent on something outside of you and realize that you deserve and you can have it all. All right. Do you want to add anything else, Angie? Anything that comes to your heart before we go? Or before I ask a question from our audience?
Actually, there's something that was coming up with the whole feel, or you know, sometimes we're not aware it's that we're numbed out to our desire, you know. And I know, like before I joined TFAS, I thought like, you know, my life was, you know, kind of okay, but I didn't realize, you know, that I had all of this healing work to do, you know. And I am so grateful, like, you know, that, you know, TFAS brought that to my attention because, you know, when I'm going through an upset, you know, like a big, giant, big hairy onion, okay, comes up and it's just, you know, knocks me like just, oh my gosh, you know, I got to deal with this. I got to, and I realized, you know, before TFAS, I was like walking around like that all the time and I didn't even know it. And I realized, separation from God just does not feel good, and I'm thinking, okay, so that's why it's important, to really feel your feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really feel
So
your feelings.
it,
And give it
when
to
you said
God.
that,
It's not yours to carry, like you were never meant to carry burdens.
yeah,
Or do
so
this
true.
alone. God's your co-creator.
Yeah,
So
that was a huge block that I
parting
was
word.
transcending. Yeah, absolutely. It's something that you said. I was walking around kind of numb to my desires, and I literally saw the picture of the zombies I talked about earlier. Is
Yeah,
we are like these
exactly.
mindless zombies, and when people say, "Oh, I woke up, I'm woke," to me, what that really means is I started recognizing that I have these desires, and I stopped settling. I stopped allowing
Uh-huh.
myself
Yeah.
to be comfortably numb. That's what woke means.
Yes.
That's what waking up is, right? And getting clear and clear on that is the ascension and ascending. But also, like, with that, guess what? Guess what you get in the process? Your twin flame. And I say get, but we can't really get our twin flame, right? It's we align with it. It comes to this point where it's just so natural and you walk into it and it's just so comfortable. And if you have any type of anxiety or anything like that when it comes to that, well, there's things to heal for you there. Um, Listen to everything that is speaking to you, whether it be your body to tell you where you're out of alignment, whether it's reality, your relationships with other people, your work, like your career. Everything is speaking to you, is God speaking to you and helping you find where you're out of alignment. So that's
Yeah,
beautiful.
the illusion of separation will fall away and you'll realize you were always there.
Take a second to let that sink in. Bam. Awesome. So I wanted to
Um,
ask, does anyone have a question for Angie? And I would love to hear from you. I'm seeing Victoria. Hi, Victoria. And Christina, Angela, Melissa, Lua, Tony. Good crowd, good crowd. Deanna, Elle, Serafina, Brienne. Wow. Robin, Crystal, everybody's here.
oh, oh,
God, God's got it. Amen. We don't have to be God. We are not God. I, I can like try to be God, but actually at my core, I realize I desire to be fathered and loved. I don't have to be mom and dad, right, to myself. I can let God do that. I can let someone help me. I can receive, and I actually really desire that. Hi, Gianna.
oh,
Okay, Angela.
I wrote the anger when we get to that. Yeah.
Perfect. So Angela has a question real quick. She says, when you're going deeper into peace, and then a bunch of anger. Yeah, so do you want to answer that now? And then a bunch of anger comes up.
Yes.
Is that normal?
Yes. Actually, anger is just is just a numb out. It's just numbing out. This is actually something that I really actually just worked through very recently, and I didn't realize I like went through a huge upset. A big block was revealed, and yeah, it's I dark night of the soul. I think we all know what that's like. I think we've all experienced that. Jeff and Shirley have a great video on it, and I think it's it's one of my favorites. But it was so it was like Deanna had called it the darkest dark night of the soul. Then I actually experienced that was my experience. But what I realized that was I never realized exactly how angry I am, what an angry person I was. That was what came up. And the thing is, you never realize it until you really start feeling your feelings. Because it's like like I said, it's a numbing out feeling. It's numbing out to your true feelings. It's like a big pot, a big pot, and you're stuffing all your feelings into this pot, and anger is like the lid, and you put the lid on top of it. So you're just basically like you can't get to your core feelings and heal it because you've got this lid sitting on top of the pot, and it's anger. So you just got
Yeah.
to release that anger and feel your feelings and don't be afraid. Know that it is safe. You're safe to like let that go and really explain, why are you so angry?
Mm,
You know,
very good.
yeah.
Yeah, and
Why are you
that's how I
using
see
it
it
as a
too.
band-aid? Yeah. So, but yeah, I just, it's not comfortable and it's, yeah, because you're just basically you're just sitting like, it's again like not loving yourself. It's not loving yourself. And like I was talking about.
Hey everybody, sorry about that. There was so much love happening here that my phone actually restarted. Oh my goodness, so much energy. But we were really getting into some deep stuff, and so I wanted to jump back on and kind of do some last final remarks before we ended our live Q&A. So let me just wait for Angie to jump on, and then we'll do a little bit of wrapping up. Go ahead, Angie. Jump on with me, and then we can add you to it. Very good. So if you're just joining now, hi. If you're just joining now, there was so much love and energy on the call that it closed and ended. So sorry for that short and quick ending, but to honor the Q&A, to honor Angie, to honor all of this and the love that we're giving and yeah, and everything, I'm just gonna we're going to continue and move forward and see. And that's how God works. Is sometimes you may have a roadblock in the way, and the work, the message there is not to be like, oh no, a rock's in my way. I can't go this way. No, you just clear the rock. You just find the solution. You heal the upset around it. You find a solution. You move forward there. That's what we did today, and that's what we're going to continue to do. And that's what this journey is, right? So I'm just waiting for Angie to accept the invitation. Approve. Yes, bring her on camera. Okay, Angie, don't forget, you got to turn your phone. This is also teaching me so many amazing things too about learning how to use like the web for a platform. I say the web, I'm like so 90s. But to use the internet as a platform to communicate, to connect. See, go ahead and message Angie if you're able to join. Yes, Deanna, we always keep going, no matter what happens, no matter if we have the dark night of the soul, no matter if we're upheaving, no matter if we make a wrong mistake, we forgive ourselves, we accept ourselves, and we just keep moving. And this is something that I like to share with my clients, is saying like clients who are having a really hard time, people who are having a really hard time forgiving themselves. Let me see, approve. Yeah. Just recognize that we need to forgive ourselves and accept ourselves no matter what happened in the past, no matter what block we're experiencing, no matter what's
Okay, there I am.
to be happening.
Okay.
Hey, Angie.
Yeah, I was sending a request, but for some reason they weren't popping up. So
That's okay. No worries
it's
there. Again,
worked out
perfectly
there.
illustrating the point and exactly what we were talking about this entire Q&A, which is to never give up on yourself and to keep moving forward towards your desires. We had a desire to love ourselves here, but also more than anything to love all of you here. And so we're gonna follow through on that desire, come rain or shine, like it's gonna happen. And no matter what things come in my path, just like a little child who's learning how to walk, it is impossible. Have you ever met a child who learned how to walk the very first time they took their steps? Like, I mean, didn't fall? Impossible. Every child falls at least a million times before they get the hold of it and start to master it, right? And that's you, that's me, that's every single human being. As we are mastering this process, we should never judge ourselves. God doesn't. If we mess up, it's not really mess up, it's actually just a lesson, right? And God doesn't say, ugh, you fell. Like you're learning how to walk and you fell. Oh my goodness, like don't come back until you're 18 and can run and like are a track star. He doesn't say that. He says, come here, let me give you a hug. Let me kiss it to make it better. And he lets you cry in his arms, right? Or like a good mommy, like a good daddy. That's God. And so you can forgive yourself, and I can forgive myself, and Angie can forgive herself for any upsets that come along the way. It's not a setback. And this is something Shalia likes to say, or has said, is it's not a breakdown, it's a breakthrough, right? So with that being said, Angie, I just want to jump right back to you. What were you talking about? Like, what do you have on your heart to say?
Um,
Because it's
Oh, I
powerful.
just want to answer Al's question. Yeah, no, I had to reposition my phone, so I've been having it propped up with my Reiki rocks, and they all fell off the shelf. So yeah, Al's like, "You okay?"
Golden.
Yeah, I'm fine. No, we were just addressing the anger, that's numbing out, and just choose to feel your feelings. Nothing that is out of alignment. And she's asking, is this normal? Well, nothing out of alignment with love is normal. So we're never angry. It's just, yeah, just choose to go deeper into love.
Right. I want to kind of extrapolate on that a little bit. Angie said it perfectly. It's like numbing out, and to go a little bit deeper into that, to recognize that anger is just like a buildup of expression energy. It's you actually desiring to express yourself authentically and feeling like you can't, and so that's why you get angry.
Mhm.
But that's
Mhm.
silly. Just express yourself. Just feel your feelings. That's actually the expression you're desiring. So don't get stuck in like an anger loop. Recognize that the anger is just kind of protecting sadness, protecting vulnerability. You can kind of see it as it's protecting your inner child in a way, like those the raw feelings. And just go deeper and feel them. Just go straight through the anger. But you have to go through the anger. You have to go past it. You have to go through the illusion, right?
Mhm.
If something is like an illusion, you can't just go, "Oh, I'm gonna go the other way." That's running, and that doesn't fix anything. And we're gonna keep facing that same illusion until we go straight through it. Same with fear. We have to go through it. So that pot of soup, you want the soup, you can't just go, oh, the pot, there's anger on top, there's like the lid on the pot. Can't have that soup. No. Go through it. Just pick up the pot, the top, and so you can have your soup.
Yeah,
Goodness gracious.
yeah,
It's that easy. Yeah. Cool.
yeah.
Very good. Awesome, Angie. This was great. I love talking to you. I always love talking to you. You always have such
Yeah.
a interesting and unique vision in things, and keeps me tuned in always, bright-eyed. So if anyone else has any other quick questions, something about Angie specifically, as a person, that would be really cool. Something quick and short to love her up a little bit. That'd be really cool. Again, it can be like anything. She has a lot of cats. Like, oh, that sounds bad, but she loves
Oh,
animals. She
yeah,
loves
I
animals.
do. I love
Yeah,
animals.
absolutely loves animals, and she actually spends her
So,
time volunteering at the shelter.
yeah, I do animal rescue, and I've gone back to, um, it was always a passion of mine. And I have been in doing it for about 15 years, like on and off in different capacities. When I got sick with, I used to do it on my own. You really need a team for something like this, and a support system, and then afterwards, I was just more or less just, I used to do intake and a lot of fundraising and a lot of very active in it. But when I got sick, with my cancer and going through that, I significantly lowered my my duties, which was appropriate for me at the time, right? So I was just doing fostering and just fundraising volunteer. But lately I've just had this call to like just go deeper with it, just because it really brings me so much joy to.
Yeah.
And so I've up to, yeah, so I'm doing a lot of like, I've gone back to like intake and one of the frontline workers, and in the feline division. And I'm just really I'm just loving it right now, and it's yeah, just following my joy and my bliss. and
Mm.
um and it's really interesting about how much you learn, how much I've learned about myself through animals. We're not just learning like through like people and our twin flame and it's but I mean, I actually like, it's almost like, I have this, I have a couple foster kittens right now staying with me temporarily right now. Well, fostering is temporary, but I have one long-term, one that's, going to be leaving on Monday. And it's almost like they're putting on a show sometimes of my life. Like, what I'm going through at that time, they show me. Like, it's, yeah. So
I
it's
love
really
that.
like, it's beautiful. Like it's actually very easy to communicate with animals. And,
Yeah.
and it's so pure and so like just pure love. Like there's
Yeah.
unconditional love.
There's
So
so many
yeah, so
fun
that's
ways
another
to
side
connect
of
to
me too.
yourself. Yeah. There's so many
Yeah,
fun ways to connect to
yeah,
yourself and to your journey. And so many people believe that this journey has to be hard and full of suffering. It's like, no, it can be so much fun and joy. Like that's another reason why we wanted to share this with you and come on screen here with everybody watching is because to kind of show you that the students of the school are not like these or like love well of course full of love but like that we're real we're people and we like to I like to travel. Angie loves animals and it's a huge passion of hers. Like
yeah.
like you don't have to give up your life in order to do this, right? Like you actually get more of your life when you do this work. Victoria, I just want to say right before we sign off here, Victoria says, I want to love Angie up. Her journey has always been one that feel drawn to since I joined the community. I think she's amazing. Thank you,
Oh,
Victoria.
thank you so much. Thank you, Victoria. I love you.
So thank you everybody so much for joining. If you'd like to subscribe, please click the link below provided, and I'm going to edit the header and put it there as well. You can get a free consultation if you kind of want a little bit more information. And if you'd like to
Mm,
be connected with a coach and get kind of like free services for signing up, get a free consultation. And you can actually request any of the coaches, like any person that you want to work with, live student, moderator from this community, anyone else that you've kind of hooked up with or that you resonate with. Write their name if that's something you're interested in. Write their name in the free consultation form, or don't and let God decide. It's up to you. What do you want?
yeah.
Again, getting clear on your desires. Right? So thank you so much for joining us and subscribe to Twin
Mm,
Flame Ascension School. It will be one of the best decisions you've ever made.
yeah.
So thank you so much, everybody. Have a good
Thank
day
you
or night.
very much, everyone, for joining us, for viewing, and to listening to my story. And, and I receive that. I receive that love. And, and I send that love to all of you.
Goodbye. Have a good night.
Namaste.